Michael Karanja is joining us. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Sophia. Smart, how are you doing?
Karibu sana.
It's been going to be a short week. You guys are happy?
Hallelujah.
It is Monday on a Tuesday.
I know that feeling. Yesterday I was already disoriented.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. This morning we're joined by Mama Mwindi, who is the CEO or Managing Director of Kenya Orient Insurance. And this morning we're just going to be talking about the insurance industry as a whole. And probably just to kick us off, Mama, is insurance over the last, ever since inception, insurance has been kind of a hard sell for Kenyans. Yeah. Why is that so? I mean, it's one of those things that are vital, but it seems to be it's not on top of people's priority lists.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a challenge as an industry we've had. We found that usually just because of the law, people take their third party or motor insurance, but any other kinds of cover that we have, and as a matter of fact, we have almost 40 different classes of products within our product line. People just have not been able to embrace insurance as they should. Maybe it's a question of awareness, it's a question of education, but also on the part of the industry, we also have to be very aggressive to bring out ourselves to the Kenyan Republic.
Because I've seen that unless it's statutory like motor insurance, people generally just don't care about insurance.
Yes. We're looked at with a lot of suspicion. That's not to say we've also had not such a great history as well. But I believe things are changing. Kenya Orient is part of leading the pack in change in the way we're looked at as an insurance industry. I think the association is also taking an aggressive awareness campaign. So things are just turning around, and I think, and also with the recent things like political risk and terrorism covers, people are beginning to understand that yes, really we need a safety net to support the things that we have, our assets, our families, etc.
Because penetration has remained almost relatively about 3-4%.
Yes.
But as you say, rightfully say, there are over 40 different covers people can pick up for insurance. Then why aren't people picking it up? From terrorism, I think is it people taking insurance more of on a need-to-need basis?
Right. And it's been a challenge, I believe, even in Sub-Saharan Africa. We've just not been able to get that penetration that we require. Like you said, it's 3.5%, and I think on life it's also about 1%. So yes, it's just been a huge challenge in trying to communicate our products. The banks in the financial sector took the lead in the, I believe, 90s, when Equity and Family Bank and all those went to the lower end of the market. And I think as an industry now, even as Kenya Orient, that's where we're going. We know that we need to make affordable, relevant products. And I believe you'll see a change, Mike, in the near short future.
Because I think one of the dangers was that the industry remained rigid, and I think got overtaken by, like you rightfully say, banks who came in and offered different kind of products. Even people like telecom operators even offering certain services that you'd find insurance companies offering. Why does the industry remain rigid? Sorry, put you on the spot.
It's been tough, but again, we're the new face of the industry. We're younger, we're more innovative, we're getting more interesting. You've seen what we've done as Kenya Orient with Orient Mobile and coming up with even standalone mobile insurance. So we're recognizing the need, the niche, the innovative nature that we have to take. So it's been tough, I think, over the last decade or so, but things are changing. You're seeing a lot of insurance companies just really going after the market, opening up distribution channels, branches across the country. At Kenya Orient, we have almost 13 branches. We're getting a county approach, county strategy. So you're going to see us on the ground. So insurance is beginning to recognize that we really can't just sit in our offices. We need to get out there and interact with people and try and make ourselves relevant. And at Kenya Orient, that's what we're doing.
And in terms of diversification, other than, let's say, just going after the youth and the older generation, how do are you kind of classifying, like the way banks have corporate, retail, and then you have the lower end? How insurance companies kind of classifying their customers?
No, absolutely. We're now, marketing, target segments of the community. We're talking about even micro insurance. I'm sure you've heard of that, in the same way that SME banking and etc. So we're trying to target the low end of the market, providing them with relevant products that are cheap, affordable, easy to understand, and then moving progressively on towards the high-end market. But the insurance products for every segment of the community. We just have to go out there, come out to shows like you and talk about it, and also the industry just take an aggressive approach.
But I guess the biggest thing that has been there is a suspicion between a person taking insurance and the insurer himself, because claim settlement has been one of those things that the industry has not had an easy time kind of justifying itself on the approach it takes, because you find yourself paying insurance for this much, something happens to, let's say, your car, your house get burns down, but then getting that claim seems to take forever, and it always seems to be slightly undervalued. How do you defend yourself against such things?
I know, and it's tough. Insurance, we really have to spend time educating the public and really the process of how claim settlement takes place, and what is a pre-accident value, what is, how do we mitigate against such things. At Kenya Orient, we've done things like just take that value of the vehicle, at the time we take cover, and that's what we call the agreed value. So we're not fighting over, it was 900 when I insured it, but you're paying me 600. It is 900 when we insured it, we valued it at 900, that is what we'll pay you at the time of loss. So yes, I agree. It's been a challenge as an industry. But I'll speak for Kenya Orient. For us, we are strong. We are financially capable. We meet our claims requirements on time, in the shortest time possible. We've also engaged things like call centers, where you can call at a time of need, and you can have somebody even walk you through the entire process. So it's been an industry challenge, but as a company, we're taking a very aggressive tone in trying to, kill that myth, that urban legend.
That the insurer is out to get you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. Fraud. It's something the industry has also, unfortunately, has become commonly known for, because you can't without reasonable doubt kind of say, okay, this really didn't happen. So you end up paying out money that is not duly owed to someone. How is from an industry point, and then as Kenya Orient, how are you able to deal with that?
I think that's our toughest. That's our Achilles heel. We find that almost 4 out of 10, 40% of claims are registered as fraudulent. So you can imagine the impact in terms of billions of shillings within the industry. As a regulator, we've actually engaged what we call that special investigations unit that is engaging fraud at that level as a crime. And I think that is going a long way in trying to mitigate and make people know that there's a consequence when you go in that line. But we have to work at it. It's been a big challenge for us as an industry. But I believe once we take that strong approach on saying fraud is crime, and taking that process through to the end, you find people a little bit more wary when they agree or accept to engage in that kind of activity. As a company, like I said, we do things like valuations. We do things like making sure that the risk is what it is. We engage the best assessors, the best investigators, who can give us the best reports in the shortest time. So it's going to be something that we as a company, as an industry, struggle with. But let's just fight it out, because insurance is a necessary need for even the whole economy as a whole. So we're going to fight it out. We're going to try and catch those who are engaged in the fraudulent activities, but at the same time, make sure we filter so you don't affect the good guys. So make sure the good guys are paid quickly, and you catch the bad guys as much as you can.
So it doesn't end up being like a tainted kind of thing in the industry.
Yes.
All right. Kenya Orient has been around for a while.
Yes.
But due to one thing or the other, you haven't been as aggressive as the big boys, as it were. But I saw recently that you're coming up with quite a wide range of products that you planning to introduce into the market. What is driving your growth strategy right now?
Wow, we live and breathe innovation. For us, Kenya Orient has been there, yes, for about 32 years, and we had a change in ownership around 2004, and since then we've had a 20% plus growth year on year, and that's because of being aggressive in our innovation strategy, coming up with great products, being the first in many things. One other thing we also did is we got our ISO certification, where we're basically one of 3 other insurance companies out of about 46 who have achieved that milestone. So for us, we are doing process engineering, we're doing things like product innovation, customer experience. So we're really poised now for the true growth that we can achieve.
Life insurance is something that I read that you planning to introduce. What's driving that?
No, it's just an obvious movement. You move from general and then you move into life. Life is 1% penetration. That's 99% out there who have an opportunity to engage with your company, your brand. So for us, life was just a natural move, and we're ready. We've already received our approval in principle from the regulator, and we're really excited because, like you can see, we've come up with Orient Mobile. So you know what to expect. We're going to have innovative products, relevant that meet that need for the Kenyan community at large.
Any likelihood that you're going to bring in asset management?
Yes, Mike. Yes, but I don't want to talk about that for now.
Yeah.
But yes, when you move into life, you have assets that need to be managed. It's also another movement there. Yes, we have a company that's a subsidiary called Alpha Africa, and yes, we'll be coming out shortly in a big way.
Yeah. From what you said, obviously insurance is one of those things that is necessary, but also the future of insurance, because right now it seems everyone is trying to get more aggressive in pushing this penetration from 3%, but it doesn't seem to be going as fast as it's intended to go.
That's a tough one. The future. The future is going to be with the people who really go after the market in an aggressive way, in taking innovative angles to how they do their business, being the fastest to market on different things, having the ERP, the backbone on technology that will support the business, transact faster, quicker, etc. So the future is probably with those companies that are very agile. For us at Kenya Orient, we do not engage in a price war. We do not look to price as our differentiation. Our differentiation is distribution channels, is our engagement with our customers, our innovative products, etc. So for us, that is our future. And we're not only looking to Kenya, we're looking at the region as well. And part of our vision is really to be Africa's premier insurer in our lifetime. So we have a very aggressive strategy.
The banks have seemed to have made some synergies with all different sectors of the economy, whether it be telcos or just kind of where they drive growth. Is this something also the insurance industry is thinking of in terms of just creating awareness, deepening penetration?
Yes, banks sit on 1, 2 million, 3 million customers. That's just sitting in a packet that you can basically go in and give a bouquet of different products. So absolutely, we need to synergize with the banks. They have huge customer base, and again, banks also are trusted. They have a good trusted brand. So it's an obvious move. If you're an insurer, you want to align yourself with the banks that basically match with what you're trying to do.
Yeah. You obviously linked to one of Family Bank. Is there a way that you're trying to use their channels also to distribute?
Absolutely. Family Bank is almost 80, I think, branches across the country. So yes, we are trying to synergize and just use that channel to distribute our products and engage their customers. But not only Family Bank, we're interacting with other banks as well. So like I said, for us, it's obvious, but the important thing is, as a company, you need to be strong. You need to be able to engage that other bank or institution, agent, intermediary, broker. They can trust you as a brand and know that what you say is what you do.
Stick by your word.
Yes.
In terms of trying to increase your visibility in the market and also the assurance you're giving to customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's quite interesting but if I might just put you on the spot, Wenda, is just walk me through like the claim settlement kind of part, because it's like I was asking before, it's one of those areas that's never been too clear of what really goes in there, because people have always said, hey, no, but I mean, so how do you determine how much you're supposed to pay out in terms of claims, and how do you assess the different kind of aspects that go along with whether this is fraudulent, is it genuine, or is it negligence?
To be honest, claim process is very simple, especially if you're honest and truthful. Yeah. We deal in the business of trust. So if you have an accident and you hit a pole in the middle of the night and no one was there, obviously the insurance company will say, okay, maybe we need to take a look. What exactly happened? Why you with carrying passengers and you're not supposed to carry passengers? What happened? So that takes in itself, depending on the incident, it takes its own direction. But if, for instance, you're driving your car and somebody rear-ended you, that process takes hours. You'll report it to us. We'll tell you, take you to this garage. We have an internal assessor. He comes in, takes a look, says, okay, it's going to cost 90,000 to repair. repair is authorized in a week or so, you have your car back. So it just depends on the angle that's taken, and based on our experience, of course. We know that certain indicators and certain things that pop up during the claim registration process tend to have a certain angle that we need to look at. So, like I said, for me, if you're truthful and you're not up to any good, if you're not up to any bad, you find the claims process very simple. But when you are trying to cut corners and trying to act in a way that raises suspicions, then you have a complicated claims process. Then you have a customer complaining. But at the end of the day, usually I would say almost 8 out of 10 of those, we find that yes, he was carrying passengers when he had a private sticker on his car, etc.
So it's not necessarily the insurance problem. It's
and in fact, for us as a company, we've taken now the approach where we have a Take the Right Cover campaign, where we're telling guys, listen, it's not, if you use your car as a taxi, it's okay, but take the right cover, so that if anything happens in that instance, you're actually covered. If there are any third-party injuries, you're not going to be standing alone because the insurance company has said, but you didn't tell us that was a cover you're having. So we're not sitting back and saying, waiting to catch you. We're actually trying to educate our customers and tell them, take the right cover.
It's interesting you say that, because people have always tried to cut corners, because you find someone has a nice car but wants to take the cheapest insurance for that car just to get it on the road. Then just tied into that is, how are you trying to tap into the youth from an early age? Because banks have been able to do it, telcos have been able to do it.
That's very interesting. Because remember, again, even the language that we use in insurance, once we start talking, people just nod off and go to bed. So we as an industry, the great thing is, even as a regulator, the industry has taken a very strong approach in trying to even change the language in our policy documents and how we speak to that policy. Now, how do we engage the youth? We're trying to do the things that guys are doing now, trying to engage them at university level, trying to engage, at an education, at secondary and tertiary level, and we're taking a lead on that. About 2 weeks ago, we were speaking to the county government and how to engage the county in educating, the youth from that stage in the education about insurance and creating that interest. So we're going to try. We don't want to copycat the banks, and coming up with concerts, etc. And we may have to do that
eventually.
But I think for right now, it's about education and awareness.
Tough job ahead for the insurance industry. But thank you very much for shedding some more light into that, Mwema Mwindi.
Thank you, Mike. All right.
So smart for that Kabambe of viewers. I think you should be talking to Mwema here. Let's get insurance. We don't want problems once it poteas somewhere.
Sophia?
Yes, I agree. You need to have a conversation there.
The difficult conversation having with insurance is, let's talk about your life.
That life insurance story.
Today what happens, something happens. No, nothing is happening. You have to stay.
All right.
Thank you for the chance.
Thank you.